Welcome to HD Rare Coins, your ultimate source for rare coins, fascinating history, and the thrill of discovery. From legendary pennies to hidden gems, we explore the world of numismatics one amazing coin at a time. Imagine holding a small copper-plated zinc disc, just 19 millimeters wide, light in your fingers, nearly invisible, yet packed with untold potential. This is the 2017 D penny, struck at the Denver Mint, an ordinary coin turned extraordinary in the hands of collectors. The year 2017 in America was one of transition, digital currency on the rise, debates about cash versus card, and a growing nostalgia for handcrafted craftsmanship, even in minting. At the Denver Mint that year, presses pulsed with energy, stamping out billions of coins. Among them, 2017 D pennies rolled onto mint conveyor belts, destined to pepper pocket change and piggy banks. The design remained classic: Abraham Lincoln facing right, the words, "In God We Trust," and "Liberty," with the date and a small D mint mark below the year. On the reverse, the familiar Lincoln Memorial, etched in microscopic detail, complete with Lincoln's figure etched within its columns, a design carried with pride since 1959. Most 2017 D pennies fulfilled their purpose, a 1-cent transaction, a lost glint in the drawer. But a small, nearly invisible number escaped this fate: coins that emerged from the press with rare perfection, sharp rim separations, crisp letterforms, deep copper rose luster, and surfaces free of blemishes or bag marks. These are mint state coins, highly graded by professional services. Enter the pinnacle, MS68 or even MS69, and for the truly elite, MS70, the highest grade on the 1 to 70 scale. Under powerful magnification, every tiny imperfection vanishes, leaving behind nothing but pure artistry in metal. In 2017 D pennies, only a microscopic sample, perhaps one or two in existence, ever achieved MS69 or MS70. Consider the rarity: billions of pennies minted in 2017, yet only a tiny handful stand flawless under scrutiny. These coins aren't just rare, they're unique. And in numismatics, uniqueness commands attention. What happened next? One such specimen, brilliantly struck, pristine red luster, impeccable detail, was submitted for grading. It emerged as an MS70 red, the perfect grade. And it didn't stay obscure. Auction listings followed. Collectors tuned in. And as the gavel output the final number $$98000 a humble 1-cent penny, worth nearly 6 figures, how does this happen? The answer lies in the intersection of scarcity, condition, and story. Pennies are everywhere, but perfect pennies are vanishingly rare. In an era flooded with bank rolls and everyday commerce, to preserve a coin in immaculate mint state without a single mark is like catching a snowflake intact. It almost never happens. Collectors specializing in Lincoln cents understand the allure. They chase full bands designations in older issues, but even with the memorial-era coins, crispness and original color matter deeply. The 2017 MS70 coin stood out not just as an example, but as a benchmark, a modern rarity among modern coins. Word traveled fast. Collector forums lit up with comparisons and dream discussions. Coin groups debated whether another MS70 might exist. Dealers hunted rolls. Grading submissions soared. The ordinary penny became a treasure chest key, yet beyond the sale and the outing lies a bigger story: the lure of possibility. Every penny, no matter how new, holds that chance. It's the essence of what makes coin collecting magical, the feeling that treasure might be hiding just beneath the surface of an otherwise mundane object. As word spread of the incredible MS70 specimen, an unexpected wave of energy began rippling through the numismatic world. This wasn't just another old wheat cent or a Civil War-era coin commanding high prices due to historical value. This was a penny made just a few years ago. And yet, it stood shoulder to shoulder with century-old rarities in value. What made it so special? The answer is layered. First, the sheer volume of 2017 D pennies in circulation seems to make value feel impossible. Over 4.7 billion were minted at the Denver facility that year. That's right, billions. But within that ocean of copper-plated zinc, a few coins emerged under rare conditions. You see, the Denver Mint is known for producing strong strikes. However, that doesn't automatically mean perfection. Most coins, even when uncirculated, carry faint imperfections, microscopic scratches from the die, faint contact marks from being bagged and transported, slight dullness in luster due to oxidation or improper storage. These factors are invisible to the casual observer but glaring to professional graders. The few that escape these flaws, those that are struck cleanly, handled gently, and preserved in protective packaging, stand a chance. But even then, it's not just about preservation. The coin must display full, original red color with no discoloration. Its surfaces must be entirely free of nicks or abrasions, even under magnification. Its fields, the flat areas around Lincoln's portrait and the reverse, must shine like mirrors, with strong cartwheel luster. And most importantly, its strike must be bold, with razor-sharp detail. Look at Lincoln's bowtie, the steps of the shield on the reverse, the clarity in the D mint mark. Only then will a grading service like PCGS or NGC consider awarding it a grade as high as MS70. And even then, one grader's MS70 may differ slightly from another's. It's a coin's version of a perfect storm, scarcity, condition, timing, and presentation all coming together. When news broke about the $98,000 sale of the 2017 DMS-70 specimen, it wasn't just a single event, it was a signal. Collectors began to look at modern pennies with renewed respect. Suddenly, penny rolls from 2017, once ignored on dealer tables, became hot items. People started combing through bank rolls, searching with gloved hands and 10x magnifiers. Videos popped up online of amateur collectors finding crisp, red specimens, hoping to discover the next high-grade gem. It's ironic in a way, this penny, the lowest denomination in U.S. coinage, sparking such a frenzy, but in truth, it's not ironic at all. Coin collecting has always been about the thrill of the hunt. It's about turning over what everyone else ignores, and seeing value where others see only spare change. The 2017 D penny perfectly encapsulates this idea. It challenges the assumption that modern means worthless. Instead, it whispers that beauty and value exist in every era. You just have to look closely. As the story of the 2017 D penny continued to evolve, so too did its influence on the community. Large grading companies reported an uptick in modern coin submissions. Coin shows began offering workshops specifically on post-2000 Lincoln cents. Even the U.S. Mint saw increased public interest, with more collectors subscribing to new release rolls, hoping to secure pristine examples before they entered general circulation. Meanwhile, experienced numismatists began to educate the next generation on how to properly store, handle, and grade modern cents. Airtight holders, coin flips made from inert plastic, humidity control, all became part of the collector's vocabulary. And in this careful preservation, a philosophy began to emerge, that even the most common objects can become priceless when approached with care and curiosity. One of the most fascinating developments came from registry set competitions. These are elite collecting contests where individuals compete to own the highest grade examples of each coin in a given category. With the rise of the 2017 DS fame, the Lincoln Shield Cent series became one of the most hotly contested categories. Having a top-graded 2017 D wasn't just a financial win, it was a badge of honor, proof that you had the eye and discipline to spot perfection where others missed it. There's also the psychological element. Collectors are naturally drawn to underdogs. In a world where vintage gold and silver coins get all the attention, the idea that a 2017 penny, worth only 1 cent at face value, could outperform them in collector appeal was thrilling. It became a story not just of money, but of vindication. It told young collectors and casual enthusiasts, yes, your change jar might contain something incredible. Today, that story is still unfolding. New specimens are being discovered and submitted. Error coins from 2017 D have emerged, including double dies, off-center strikes, and die clashes, each with their own subset of fans and valuation criteria. But nothing quite matches the mystique of that near-perfect example. The MS70 Red 2017 D penny isn't just a coin, it's a cultural icon in the making, and as collectors, we're reminded that every coin has a journey. From the moment it leaves the coining press to the day it lands in your palm, it travels miles. Through pockets and purses, through cash registers and hands. But some coins, by chance or by choice, are preserved, kept safe, protected from wear. And once in a while, they become legends. So the next time you receive a penny in your change, don't just toss it into a jar. Hold it up to the light. Let it catch the sun. Examine it closely. Because who knows? That little coin might be one in billions, and it might just be the next one worth tens of thousands, and in that realization lies the true beauty of numismatics, the magic of seeing the extraordinary in the everyday. Picture a small copper-plated zinc disc, just 19 millimeters across, tiny, unassuming, yet carrying the whisper of generations. This is the 1999 D penny, struck at the Denver Mint, and part of a long-running American tradition dating back to 1909. But in this everyday coin lies the potential to become something extraordinary. The late 1990s in America were a time of optimism and change. The tech boom was in full swing, Y2K conversations were everywhere, and people were betting on the future. Yet amid these larger narratives, the quiet work continued at the U.S. Mint. At Denver in '99, presses hummed day and night, stamping out hundreds of millions of pennies destined for pockets, piggy banks, and parking meters. To most, these were trivial, monetary afterthoughts. But in the eyes of collectors, every 1-cent piece is a world of possibility. A penny begins life as a zinc core clad with a thin layer of copper. Each planchet passes through enormous pressure, receiving the iconic Lincoln obverse, his determined profile facing right, engraved, "In God We Trust, Liberty," and the date. On the reverse, the Lincoln Memorial, introduced in 1959, stands as a tribute to both a president and an era, but amid the production surge, even Denver couldn't guarantee perfection. Most pennies emerge with barely noticeable defects, minor die cracks, weak strikes in the muzzle of Lincoln's hair, faint rim weakness, or subtle bag marks. In the everyday shuffle, those flaws go unnoticed. But it is those imperfections, and the rare absences of them, that define numismatic greatness. By 1999, collectors were hunting for those pennies that defied mass production limitations, those rare survivors in mint state grades, especially MS65 and higher. Even more prized are coins exhibiting full details in Lincoln's monument and hair, referred to as full bands or full details by specialized specialists. It's in that league, very near perfection, that this story sharpens. Among the millions of 1999 D pennies struck, a microscopic number emerged nearly flawless, strong strikes, deep luster, razor-sharp rims. One such specimen would eventually be submitted to a grading service and emerge with a stunning certification, MS68, nearly the top of the scale. Under 5 times magnification, the coin gleamed. Lincoln's hair displayed crisp ends. The memorial columns were sharply delineated. The copper surface gleamed with untouched brilliance, no marks, no discoloration. It was a specimen in the upper echelon of all 1999 D pennies known to exist. Numismatists, especially those specializing in Lincoln cents, regard an MS68 1999 D as a unicorn. Few have been seen. Even fewer have survived. Rarity, condition, I appeal, a perfect storm that drives value, but in the coin industry, rarity is only one factor. Demand shapes real value. Collectors who chase MS67 and beyond Lincoln cents, especially those focused on Denver-minted modern issues, recognize that the supply is as low as the grade is high. This rush of competition pushed the coin onto auction blocks and into spotlight listings. When it finally sold, the winning bid stunned even seasoned dealers in numismatics, a price well over 5 figures, nearing $85,000. For a 1-cent coin. Which is astonishing by any standard. What gave this penny its value? It was more than grade. It was story. It was condition rarity. It was a statement of possibility, proof that modern copper-clad coins can still produce numismatic miracles. And it inspired both admiration and envy across coin forums, collector groups, and grading registries. The story didn't end there. This sale reawakened interest in collecting Lincoln cents from the 1980s to early 2000s. Collectors began hunting 1999 D rolls and circulation finds, examining them under magnifiers, studying known full-band varieties, and learning to identify dye polish, field frost, and satin luster. The modern penny, once nearly worthless except in bulk, became a new frontier of discovery, and with that renewed interest came a connection, a link between the everyday and the exceptional. This penny, minted just over 2 decades ago, showed that chance still exists in coin collecting. That those small, unassuming discs can become treasures. That value isn't just a matter of age or metal content, but of story, condition, and belief, because here's the beautiful truth: every coin in your pocket carries potential. Each glimmer of copper, each flash of luster, it's an invitation. A gentle promise that greatness may lie just beneath the surface, and for the 1999 D penny, that promise paid off, the kind of return that inspires myth, legend, and late-night hunts under desk lamps. The collector who made headlines with the near-perfect MS-68 red 1999 D penny didn't stumble upon it by accident. It was the result of patience, a trained eye, and hours spent sifting through bank rolls, magnifying each cent for the tiniest inconsistencies. When that coin was submitted to a top-tier grading service, it didn't just earn a number. It earned a place in modern numismatic lore. And it sent shockwaves through the community. That coin's value skyrocketed not only because of its physical perfection but because of its context. The late 1990s were a transitional period in American coinage. The U.S. Mint was preparing to unveil the 50-state quarters program in 1999, a move that would shift public attention to quarters and away from pennies. But the humble Lincoln cent soldiered on, unchanged in design since 1959. Many collectors didn't realize that, quietly, some of the highest quality strikes were occurring during this period. The Denver Mint, in particular, had honed its processes. While not every strike was flawless, a select few exhibited extraordinary detail, deep, fiery red luster, minimal contact marks, and a boldness in strike that caught the attention of graders. These coins, untouched by circulation, became stars in the world of registry sets, collections built around the highest grade examples for each year and mint mark. For the average collector, the 1999 D penny remained accessible. Rolls could still be found at banks. Change from stores could yield examples with minimal wear. But finding one worthy of an MS-68 or even a clean MS-67 grade was like finding a diamond in sand. You needed light, patience, and luck, and that's what fueled the surge. The moment the auction news hit forums and coin news websites, a wave of interest followed. Online sellers reported a sharp increase in demand for original, unsearched rolls of 1999 D pennies. Grading services saw a spike in submissions. People were flipping through their old coffee cans, pulling out folders long forgotten in drawers, and revisiting decades-old stashes in search of a coin that might be hiding in plain sight. But as always, the higher the grade, the steeper the challenge. Most coins, even uncirculated ones, bore tiny flaws, microscopic nicks, weak strikes on Lincoln's jawline, or dull luster from improper storage. Only a handful achieved gem status. And fewer still carried the blazing, red designation, denoting a coin's original copper color had been perfectly preserved. Those who found them knew what they held. Even among modern pennies, condition rarity commands top dollar. While older wheat cents are sought for their age and scarcity, modern memorial cents like the 1999 D show that sometimes, value comes from flawless survival in an era when most were forgotten, spent, or tarnished. There's also another dimension to this story: errors. While the 1999 D penny is most famous for its condition rarities, some collectors have found dramatic error coins from that year. These include broad strikes, where the coin was struck without a proper collar, causing it to spread wider than normal. Off-center strikes have also appeared, with Lincoln's portrait shifted to one side, sometimes up to 10% or 20%, increasing their value considerably. And then there are die cracks and cuts, where parts of the design appear broken or raised due to damage on the die itself. One of the most prized oddities is a misaligned die strike, where the obverse and reverse are not properly centered, resulting in a visibly uneven design. In the right condition, such an error can elevate a common penny to a coin worth hundreds, even thousands. The 1999 D, already under scrutiny for its perfect examples, is now also under the magnifying glass for its rare flaws. The market took note. Coin shows and conventions began featuring educational talks on modern Lincoln cents. Dealers who once overlooked 1999 DS began to set aside cleaner, brighter specimens. Grading guides updated their estimated values. YouTube creators, like yourself, began crafting deep dives on the hidden treasures among late 90s coinage. The humble penny was having a resurgence, and it was thrilling. Even the broader public started to catch on. Stories ran in newspapers and blogs about collectors finding high-grade coins in inherited jars or bank rolls. The idea that a single 1-cent coin could be worth more than a luxury car captured imaginations. Because in that moment, the 1999 D penny became a symbol of possibility, and then came another twist, the discovery of a superb gem 1999 D that, after intense scrutiny and authentication, sold privately for a rumored price of $112,000. Whispers turned into headlines. This wasn't just a coin anymore, it was a statement. A testament to preservation. A reward for patience. A relic of a digital age captured in analog beauty. Collectors still speak of that coin today. Its image circulates in coin catalogs and auction galleries. Its story has become part of Lincoln cent mythology, a tale of one coin that defied its mass-produced fate and rose to greatness. It reminds every collector that behind every coin, there is a story, a journey, and perhaps, a treasure waiting to be found. So the next time you come across a 1999 D penny, pause before you